go through chapter 7 this morning. Lord sees fit. I want to bring something up to light to you. I want to give you a hint, but I believe it'll be good this morning. Open our eyes to something. Chapter 7 of the book of Genesis is what will be. Chapter 7, book of Genesis. Take that back. I'm going to go back a little further because I get up to chapter 7 this morning. Verse 17 of chapter 6. We'll start there, and then I'll work my way down. We know that we are in these chapters here. We know where we're at. The book of Noah, or we're talking about Noah here in the book of Genesis. We had looked at some numbers there that signified something, and we talked about the events taking place in Noah, or about Noah here, about the earth was filled with violence, and how that there was none found righteous but Noah, and Noah's family was as good as families there ever was. His dad walked the Lord, his grandpa. I mean, they was godly people. And in this time, there was only one person that the Lord seen fit that was worthy enough to carry on. And we talked last week about how God was destroying. He was going to wipe sin off of the earth. And we'll see that here in just a minute. But God was fed up with what was taking place. He prepared a way. He prepared a man. He prepared an escape for the world. Just like today, there's been a way of escape prepared to not have to see the second death. But as there are now, I'm sure Noah told everybody he's seen what was coming. We think about how long it's been since the Lord was here and walked on this earth. Preachers, no doubt, since he was here and after he left, has been telling, hey, there's a day of coming. Hey, there's a day of coming. And we just put it off. The world puts it off. The church, I believe some of the churches has put it off. Well, it'll be a while. We've got plenty of time. But church, surely it's coming soon. By the things that we see, the things that was taking place there in that time, that it was so bad that God repented that He made man. Something, and I say something, but He cares so much about man, loves man so much that He prepared His only begotten Son, that He would come and die for us, that we could be with Him, and that we had a better option. We had an escape. That's how much we mean to God, that He would even sacrifice His own Son that we could have hope. And to tell you how bad it must have been that He repented, that He ever made us, He was quite upset. He was quite upset. I believe we can look around, we can see what's taking place, and you don't have to go far. You can go to a restaurant, you can go to Walmart, you can see about whatever. We know that the time that we're living in, by the Bible, we are close to the end of time. Let's start in verse 17. It says, and behold, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh. Now, we know the definition of the word all, right? It's all. It's all. It's everything. So he says here, to destroy all flesh wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. I want you to notice here, and everything. It's not just flesh. It's not just the creeping thing. It's not just the beast of the field. It's not just animals. He said everything. There was nothing that was not on the boat that survived. Everything else died. And he says here, but with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee, and of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. You know there's 2 genders, right? Mm-hmm. There's not just one. Or 17, yeah. Or 17, I don't care what you think you identify as, there's 2 genders. What you're born with is what you are. Male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind, 2 of every sort shall come into thee to keep them alive. One thing that I didn't really take into consideration, we had took a trip up to the Ark in Kentucky, the one they have up there. Going through it, looking at all the different things, it put in perspective not just how much work there was to build the ark, but I want you to think about how much work he had to put into it to keep them alive. Notice here, if you'll go back, verse 20, he said, to keep them alive. Hey, it wasn't he just got on that boat and it was a cruise ship. Can you think for just a second? Farm animals, we've got a new puppy, and I'm going to tell you something. It's always something. Take it out, feed it, and clean up after. Think about the duty that Noah and his family had just to keep all these animals alive. They was work. No doubt they was work in that. And he says, and take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten. The preparation that was put in to this trip was tremendous. We know that the animals come, he had to get them on the boat, but also he had to prepare enough food for everything, not just one of everything, but 2 of everything. Can't reproduce unless you have male and female. You had to have enough food for 2 of everything. Not only that, but Noah also had to feed his family. And we'll see how many days they was in it and how many days that they was on there. But the preparation that was put in, I'm sure at times it got rough. It wasn't easy. They didn't have Milwaukee cordless drills. Hey, we're spoiled today. Mm-hmm. We're spoiled today. They didn't have portable bandsaws or portable skill saws or a skill saw at all. Everything that he done was by hand. And I'm sure there was a few tools. But it wasn't like what we have today. I could drill a hole in about 3 seconds. So pretty good. 2 before, I'm done. I got a hole there. I can run a screw in that quick. Hey, we got nail guns. Hey, we even got battery-powered nail guns. The preparation that Noah put into this was tremendous. So, oh yeah, I guess it was. Yeah. It took him over 100 years to build the thing. But it wasn't just the building that was a lot. He had to prepare not just for the animals that was on the boat. He also had to prepare food for everything there. Make sure that he had everything he needed that was preparation. And I guarantee you, and Noah wasn't a young man when he started this. Mm-hmm. He was up there in age. But I bet you if you was to ask Noah, was it worth it, all the preparation? He'd say, yeah. Mm-hmm. We might not be building an ark, but there's preparation in our life. Without preparation before the flood came, they would have had no chance. If we're not prepared, when the fire comes, or when the Lord comes back, there'll be no chance. We talked about that a little bit last week, but you can't wait till the raindrop falls. I want to get in. No doubt, I bet they was trying to beat the door, pry the door. We talked about how they was trying. There's no telling what efforts they went to try to get on the boat after the fact. The door was shut and the first raindrop fell. But when we see him coming, too late then. Mm-hmm. It's the preparation before it happens that'll get you there. He says, it says here, thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him, so did he. It was the exact dimensions. It was the exact layout. He did exactly how the Lord had told him. Does the Bible not tell us that obedience is better than sacrifice? But with obedience, there comes sacrifice. The Bible speaks that Noah moved with fear and prepared an ark. His obedience was a sacrifice. You think about that. Getting up every day, beating on that gopher wood and doing that. But he did it to prepare to saving of his family. Chapter 7. And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark. For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Notice that it says, I seen righteous. I seen righteous. There's a difference between religious and righteous. I was listening this morning on the way across the mountain, coming back home. This preacher was on the radio, and he was talking about, and it reminded me, Brother Disley, that message you preached about the tree, about the root system and all that. He said, religiousness, or being religious, you've got to be rooted. That's what it was. You've got to be rooted, not religious. I got to think about that. I got to think about the tree system and different trees. You ever notice out here in the parking lot or on blacktop or be hiking or fishing or hunting or be out in the woods? There's times that there'll be I don't know, like a little plant or a little type of tree or something. You see its roots, and it'll be right on top of a rock. Mm-hmm. You ever notice that? But it don't take nothing for that. There might be minerals there. There might be water sitting on top of that rock or down in like a little swag on the rock or whatever. And there'll be something starts to try to grow on it. But it's so easy. Just take it up and it's gone. Noah here was not just a man with morals, or he didn't just believe. He wasn't just a righteous or a religious man. Noah was righteous. Noah had root. He was grounded in the Lord. Not only did he, being morally is a great thing, but it'll take morals. It'll take more than morals to get into heaven. After you become saved, that stuff will come. You think about these people and take their actions in consideration and say, well, I don't understand why people do the things they do. Well, it's easy. Because they're not born again. They've not been changed. They're operating off the flesh. They're operating off of who they're serving. But the Bible says here that the Lord had seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every Noah was a righteous man. The Bible calls him perfect, a perfect man in his generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female, of fowls also of the air, by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will will I destroy from off the face of the earth. He was wiping it clean. He was wiping it clean. We talked about numbers. 777. Does anybody remember what the number 7 represents in the Bible? What it refers to? Completion. Right? So here the Lord is going through and He's wiping it clean. There's going to be a new slate, a new chance, a new opportunity for mankind. Right? So He says here, and Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. Young man there. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, and of the fowls and everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went into unto Noah in the ark the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, in the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And the selfsame day entered Noah, and Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them in the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing and the creeping upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, two and two, of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Now, that might sound a little bit repetitive. We've through this chapter here, chapter 7 here, it mentions 2 by 2, male and female, male and female. We've got a lot of smart people in the world today that can come up with some great ideas. Engineers that can design things it's amazing. The brains that we have, I guess you say. But yet, something as simple as that. The Lord He's said this over and over and over. I don't have a count. We could go back and count it up. But how many times did He say that? So, well, He's talking about that. No, He is, yeah. Male, female, of everything entered. But church, look where we're at. It's as simple as that. So he goes on and says, and the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went up upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all of the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. So the whole earth turned into a big old sea, completely covered. The highest mountain there is was completely underwater. It says here, and in all in, whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. 150 days. Let me go back. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. I'll get ahead of myself. And God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped. Now, you ever gave any thought to that? Where it says, it's talking about, if we go back, talks about the fountains. The fountains. So it said here, the fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped. What is these fountains? How was everything watered before? It would come up. So that, when it talks about was opened up, Brother Jesse, if I'm wrong, tell me. That was a watering system that would come up to water the ground. And also it said, and the fountains and the window of heaven. So here, 2, the fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. So at this point, everything, all the water that was moving to destroy the earth ceased. It stopped. Not another raindrop fell. The fountains, that was the water that was coming up, the fountains was stopped. So therefore, it had all stopped. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month, in the 10th month, on the first day of the month, where the tops of the mountains seen. So in that, it took a while. You got that much water, it don't just go away like that. It took a while before even the mountaintop was to be seen, or a mountaintop. Let me go a little further, then we'll go back. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window. At minimum, I know the Bible says here 150 days, and then after 40 days, he opened the window. He had already stopped. He had already rested. So that's 190 days minimum that he's in the boat. After the first rainfall, after it rained. 190 days. Anybody ever meal prep? Huh?
I was just thinking about what you have to do that for him.
I mean, think about the amount of work. Can you imagine the smell? They're sealed in this boat. They was working that constantly. We try sometimes when we can, I guess, when we have enough groceries, to make meal prep a little bit, leftovers, put them up. That way we got food for lunch and all that. But can you imagine keeping it was his responsibility. Not only did he prepare the boat, he also took care of everything there to make sure everything on that boat had exactly what it needed. Well, Noah was the perfect image of the servant. anything and everything that had breath or that was alive on that boat, he cared for. Also, he was the one that prepared it. Let's think about our preparation. Our preparation, we don't work to earn a spot in heaven, do we? No, we'll get there in a minute. But yet, it was prepared for us. But yet, oftentimes, once we get it, and we're born again, it seems like we've got it, or it's done, it's finished. But there's work to do in the midst of being saved. Was Noah not? The Bible speaks of him, of the saving of his family. He had work to do to save himself and his family. God made a way. He made the perfect ship, the perfect dimension. It was built. God gave it to him, the perfect boat. Noah had to put it together, but it was the exact dimensions that it would take and keep everything on this boat alive. And a lot of times when you do architectural drawings or any kind of drawings, it has to be sealed. Put a seal on it, a stamp on it. That somebody that claims to know something, their name's on it. And then until there's that drawing or that blueprint has got the stamp on it, it's no more than just paper. But once you have that on there, you're good to go. It's legal. It's legal now. It's been signed off on. It's been approved. Not only did he have to build it, it was he has work to do in the midst of being saved. God didn't just send angels down to prepare everything and say, Noah, you know what? You prepared the boat. You made the way. You just sit back and we'll take care of everything else. No. Not only Noah and his family, they had to work together as a team, as a group of people, to make sure everything survived. That should be a perfect picture of the church. Right? They was few, but the Lord was with them. And they accomplished great things together. There was work to be done. Church, if we're going to stay alive, there's work we've got to do. What do you mean by that? Referring back to what that preacher said this morning, if a tree's not rooted or the roots ain't connected to something, it'll die. You ever pull a plant up and it sit out too long before it gets put back in the potting soil or put back in the dirt? It can't live without its nutrients. Neither can you. Neither can you. Quit eating, quit drinking water. See how long your body lasts. But if you quit feeding yourself with God, how long are you going to last? It'll die. It's not His will. It's never intended for that. But if we're not getting nutrients, if our roots are not deep and rooted, it'll be like that little plant or that little flower or that whatever, the little spruce tree, or that a seed fell there and got some water and had a little dirt there and it had a little bit. It won't last long because it ain't got enough nutrients to sustain it. It's got to be connected. It's got to be connected. But there's work to do. In that, being saved, there was work for Noah to do. He didn't just get in the boat and it was over. That's the mindset a lot of times now. We get in and, hey, we've got it. There was work to do. There was work to do. I want to go back real quick. Let's talk about something else. I'm sure. Go to verse 5, chapter 8. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. Now, that's just giving you a time reference, right? Does anybody know what the number 10 means? We look at that, we read that very casually. Okay. Well, now that would be October, right? October the 1st, in our calendar. But we just look at a reference here. The 10th month on the first day. Now, I'm one of these that if it's referencing something, there's something behind that. There's something in that. The reason it's called out could have just been the ark rested, the ark rested on the mountain of Arad. But it specifically calls out the time and when it rested. It says, and the ark rested in the 7th month on the 17th day. We know what number 7 means, right? We just said it. Completion, right? On the 7th month and the 17th day of the month upon the mountains of Arad. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. Now, does anybody know what the number 10 means? We'll look this up. Anybody?
Divine order,
Okay.
holiness, authority.
What about number 1? Does anybody know what the number 1 means? Here, I'll read this to you. The number 10, in the Bible, the number 10 signifies divine completion, perfect order, human responsibility. It represents the totality of something and signifies that God's plan is completely carried out and put into order.
Mm-hmm.
You think it was a coincidence that that's when that happened?
Mm-hmm.
People will tell you, oh, that's a coincidence. No, no such thing. God had a plan when the first raindrop was going to fall to when they was going to rest there. It shows that He is in authority. You look back at that and you say, 10th month, first day. Look, the number 1 represents new beginnings. Creation and ultimate unity. So, on the 10th month, the first day, it shows completion, completely carried out. God's plan is completely carried out and put in order. Number 1, a new beginning. A new beginning for what? For mankind. And the earth to follow. God, through His obedience, through Noah's obedience and the way he lived his life through the Lord, with the Lord, gave us a second shot. Because God was mad enough, He was just going to wipe it completely out, but He could not ignore how Noah lived his life for Him. You don't think you are making a difference, but I'm going to tell you, if you live your life for the Lord, you are. One man's life gave everybody another chance after. If it hadn't been for the Savior and His perfectness, if it isn't for the prayers of those people that are truly born again, begging God, Lord, please save my lost. Lord, I've got people that's going to die and go to hell. Lord, please don't come back right now. You've got people making songs, Lord, come back, come back. Boy, that's easy, isn't it? Oh, that would be, that's awful selfish for people that's born again, right? I'm not trying to be ugly. I know there's people in pain. I know there's people that's ready to go home. That's not what I'm talking about. But these that just want to just say, come on back, Lord, take me out of this. Noah had to work. Noah had a job on his hands, not only to build the ark, but to keep everything on it alive. He had responsibilities. There's responsibilities in this. Being saved, being being on the boat, the old ship of Zion. There's things that we've got to do. And if we're not working, there's no hope for our lost. If Noah would have given up, that'd have been it. How hard do you think he had some days? The Bible said he moved with fear. I don't believe he wasted a second. I know we've got jobs and those that's retired, bless your heart. You worked and we got a job we got to go through every single day. And there's been days, buddy, that I've worked and I didn't think I could go another step. In some days, and there's been days that I'm pretty easy. But yet we'll complain. Boy, I'll tell you, this work and stuff, boy, I'll tell you. We'll see a young person, well, if I could go back and swap shoes with you, and then the young person says, I wish I could go make some money, and then about 2 years into working every day, well, I wish I was still in school. We'll complain about it. And we'll take advantage. We'll waste time. Anybody ever wasted time? Mm-hmm. We'll waste time, but I don't believe there was a second wasted in Noah. I believe he done everything. Think about it. He was on, I worked construction over 13 years, contractor. Time is money and money's time. That's what they tell you. That's true. Any day that you waste is a dollar that they're not going to make at the end of the time. You're on a deadline. He was on a deadline. He come in right on time. It was completely finished. Let me go. But the Bible says, I've got some notes of Ephesians. But without the work that he put in, without the sacrifice, without the obedience of Noah, his family didn't have a chance. Can I tell you, if you give up, your family ain't got a chance. The only chance they got is there's somebody else that's out there praying for them. Church, we're getting ready for a flood. So the Lord said that He's never going to destroy us. There's something in the works right now. The Lord is at the door, the Bible says, waiting. As we see the day approaching, we've got something to be doing. Time's running out, and we don't have much time. Stay in it. Stay rooted. Don't let your roots get pulled up because of a storm. There's bad days. There'll be bad days. I'm sure there was days that Noah had bad days. He was a man just like us. You ever had a time where you just say, well, I don't know if I can go any further? Anybody? You ever had days you just want to give up, just quit? There's been times in my life I have. Not just spiritual, but in physical life too. When I was lost. But I'm going to tell you something. If you quit, never get across the line. You'll never get across the line. Noah kept pressing on. Press on. It won't be very long. Our people is dependent on us. His people was dependent on him. Anybody this morning got anything they want to say, they want to add to this?
You also see Noah as the type of Christ, preparing the way, opening the door, and talking about keeping them alive on the ship. He provided everything that we needed to make it.
Anyway, any others this morning? He saved mankind. I think God prepared the first one. Give us that opportunity. Anybody? All right, then. This morning, let's go to work for our lost people. All that we will get in the altar, pray for our lost, pray the Lord to deal with their heart. They